Hey, Tim! What's up, creepers? And Geekers Chris the Atari Creep. How is everyone doing today? So I finally got a chance to fucking see Beetlejuice 2. And you know what? I will get into some spoilers. But my overall thoughts, it was really fun. It was a fun movie. Tim Burton could have went way out of his way to make this thing a fucking shit show. And he didn't. He didn't. The story was fun. I mean, there's enough for the cats who love Beetlejuice and enough for people who want something new. Overall, I think it's not as good as the first. I think it's more so an amazing companion piece to the original. And it's in a situation where they could have done a sequel years ago, and you know it would have been garbage. You just know it would have been garbage, you know? That today we would have been, it's not as bad, you know, like Ghostbusters 2. I don't consider that garbage, but they could have went down that road. They didn't. Tim Burton he showed a lot of fucking restraint. So look, if you like the original Beetlejuice, you should like this one just fine. I had a good time with it. Both the girls and my lady had a good time with it. It was really fun. And I actually got to watch some of it being shot. And I'll try to insert some footage here, and don't mind that. Every time the landlord's air conditioner kicks on, everything flashes for a second on this side of the house. It is what it is. The house is over 100 years old. But, you know, I was lucky enough to see some of it filmed here in Melrose, Massachusetts. I know they filmed most of it in Vermont. Is that where they did it? Maybe that was just the original. I don't remember. But they spent about 2 or 3 days here. I think it was 3 days here. And I only got to be there once. I got to watch them perform a stunt that happens during the movie on a bicycle. The Ortega girl wasn't actually there at this time anyway. She did come to film, but I got to watch them do this one stunt with a bike and her almost getting hit by a car, which leads to her actually meeting I guess her love interest, a young man around her age that she confides in. That house is also in Melrose. I will probably be doing a video about that here in the future once I can take it from the movie and then put them side by side and everything. I wasn't able to get to that house, but where the tree houses that you see in the trailer and everything, that was all done. That one red house and everything, I actually drove the family by it on the way home from the theater tonight. And that was pretty fun to do. We're looking at it and they're all like, okay. You can look at like behind the scenes shit on a DVD, Blu-ray or whatever on YouTube, and then see the final result. And you know, it's cool to watch, but it's a whole nother thing when you were physically there. And Beetlejuice, it's a big name, so it's like, it's kind of fun that something in my town is in a movie that has a name that's recognized. So, but it was fun watching some of the process, which I know of, and then seeing it on a gigantic. We saw that on a 4K IMAX, 12 channel fucking sound, butt kickers in the seat. Basically, every seat has a subwoofer. It's a gigantic screen. It's awesome. It's attached to a furniture store of all things. But unless you're from the local area, you don't understand Jordan's furniture. So I think from now on, we will get into a little bit more of a spoiler territory. I'm not going to go into the story too much, but I'm going to go a little bit deeper than I just did. So overall, guys, I really did enjoy the movie. I really did. I enjoyed it a lot. Was it fantastic? No. Was it something amazing? No. It was a good movie. It was a great companion piece. I think it's something that you could watch the original and then watch that directly after and feel kind of satisfied. So, all right. So if you don't want to be spoiled by anything, I won't give too many spoilers away, but there are some, you know, this is where you need to fuck off. Okay? So I'll give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It was the maid. It was the fucking maid that did it. See, I knew you'd stick around, you scumbag. So overall, the movie doesn't really follow the same structure like it could, but the ending kind of did. It's so bizarre. They still had kind of like a wedding thing going on. And then there was so many subplots. It wasn't like Star Wars subplot ridiculous. In fact, it just kind of flowed. The movie just kind of did its own little thing. It was paced just fine. I think there were just too many characters. It was like almost every one of our characters had a villain to overcome. Lydia Deetz had two, actually, now that I'm fucking thinking about it. Yeah. So again, we're in spoiler territory, so you've already seen the movie, I hope. But I mean, Lydia had to deal with fucking both Beetlejuice and the scumbag fiance that she had. Her daughter, which I can't remember the name of the character, my apologies. But the daughter bumped into a young man who turned out to be a villain. I'm not going to say too much about it, and that red house is in my town. I want to say the name of the street so you can look it up, but I don't think I'll do that. So the daughter has a villain to fight around with, plus she gets stuck in the afterlife. The mother, or the stepmother, I should say, the artist, she has a couple of subplots. Of course, the father wasn't there because of obvious reasons. He got himself into, the actor who played Lydia's dad in the first one, he got himself into a little bit of a little trouble. He's a Skinner. They still had him in the movie, though. I knew they were killing him off just for the plot point. You know, just, okay, where did he go? Why isn't he in the movie? But he was in the movie a lot more than I honestly anticipated him being in. And it actually was pretty funny. And they actually have images of the actor. Like there's a photograph or whatever that you would have in your house of like your grandfather or some shit, you know? Like that, with him on it. They put his face on his tombstone. The dude got eaten by a shark, and his tombstone's a giant acrylic shark fin. Come on, that's fucking perfect. That's perfect. I think everyone did a great job. Winona Ryder, great job. Her fiance, that weirdo fucking wackadoo, I think they all did a great job. I was invested. I had a good time. It's been a long time since I've seen a fucking remake that you can watch and just be invested in it, you know? Tim Burton's most modern movies, they're just garbage. They're just CGI nightmares of endless fucking spaces, and it's crazy. I hate it so much. And he didn't do that. He stuck with practicality. There is some, obviously, effects in there, but there's still a little bit of a stop motion gig going on. The practical sets are still that kind of off-putting, you know, almost like a funhouse kind of vibe. You know Tim Burton. You should by now, for fuck's sake. He could have went out of control with it, but he didn't. He was very moderate with what he did. Beetlejuice could have been in every fucking scene in the movie because that's the namesake, right? No. They used him sparingly. I mean, even he had a villain to fight. Which leads me to, I'll just call her the corpse bride. I didn't write down the woman's name because, again, I forgot. Pretty cool shit. Now, she is after Beetlejuice for his soul because they got married and she was like a Black Widow kind of a situation. I'm not exactly sure like what was going on there. I just know she was hot as fuck. And it was very, and please tell me if I'm not the only one who thought this way. Her story and everything to do with her felt Men in Black. I don't know why. Maybe because of the villain in the original one, the chick with the, you know, and I don't know, but it just felt very Men in Black, but it wasn't jarring. Because of so many people though, like her I thought that was going to be the thing. I thought that was going to be the baddie, and Beetlejuice would have to come to the surface to ask for help. I don't know. I really didn't know what was going on until things started really happening. But she kind of just like came and went. She could have been this awesome villain. I mean, she sucked Danny DeVito into a little thing, you know? But no, she just kind of came, killed a couple people, left for a long time, you forget about her, and then she showed up in the end. And it does seem like the end was rushed. And I don't know. I guess you could say that about the original too. And there's a lot of similarities. I will say that. But it's not so jarring that you're like, you know, like with when The Force Awakens came out, everyone's like, it's fucking A New Hope. It's still a good movie, but it's A New Hope. It's not like that. I just don't understand it. This movie is an enigma. It shouldn't have been this fun. It shouldn't have been this good, given everything that's been going on the screen. Michael Keaton, I was so worried about that. That was probably my biggest worry. I thought Michael Keaton was going to be a nightmare. Not him as a person, just, you know, him playing Beetlejuice again. I mean, he's an older dude now, and does he still have it? I mean, when I didn't think he was going to sound like him. You know, James Earl Jones's voice, God rest his soul, he just recently passed away. Man. In Rogue One, you could tell it was an older man, right? Was it Rogue One where you could hear him like that? Yeah. Don't choke on your aspirations. I thought it was gonna be like that, like it was just gonna take me out of the whole thing. No. You could put the two movies side by side. He may not be as like skinny and, you know, whatever he was in the first one, young looking, but it worked. It was fucking awesome. Bob, I got to talk about Bob. Bob is this shrunken head dude. So Beetlejuice has some kind of fucking thing happening with, I don't know. He takes clients, right? And he's got all these shrunken head cats wearing the same stupid suit. And I guess Bob is supposed to be like him as a decoy or something like that. Like his shrunken head was gonna, you know, not be noticed with the green hair and everything. And I think Bob got a bum deal. I love Bob. I'm fucking Team Bob. And you know what? Maybe it was designed and I'm one of those fucking mindless drooling idiots that fell for it. Now I want Bob to be my new Baby Yoda. Who knows? But if they make action figures of fucking Bob, I want one, dude. Bob was awesome. They even gave him a special credit at the end. You have to see the movie. I won't tell you anything more about fucking Bob. But yeah, and anybody involved with Bob that was like Bob, when they go do the thing, it's fun. It's just a fucking fun movie. Sure, it's got its problems, but you know what? It could have been a nightmare, but I think it's a good movie. It's a great movie to go with your family. They didn't sanitize it. They didn't sanitize it. The language is there. They even made fun of a lot of modern ways. They made fun of Disney and how they've been, you know. They made fun of like safe spaces and shit like that. They didn't care. They dropped one F-bomb, but they did beep it, which I thought was a nice little touch, you know. There's enough in this that you recognize, and there's plenty that you don't, but it works. It fucking works. Now, there are some ideas that repeat. I was so afraid that the dinner scene was going to repeat, and it kind of does, but in a completely different context, and it works. I'm just going to say, that's it. I'm just going to write that on my fucking thumbnail, probably. Beetlejuice 2. It worked. You know? Let me see what else I got here, but it wasn't washed out like a lot of these modern movies are, you know, and they didn't focus on too much. Soul Train, that's all I'm going to say. Fucking Soul Train. I think I know why that was in there. I think it's a little poke at something, but I don't know. Let's see. Lydia had 2. Everyone had a bad guy to fight. How weird is that? It didn't feel congested, though. It really didn't. People kept disappearing, but let's see. It does not look like a modern Tim Burton movie. We talked about that. He stayed away from the follies of a lot of legacy sequels. I mean, I'm glad they waited. And that's it. It could have been a nightmare. So if you like Beetlejuice, you should like this. And there's an original PlayStation in it. And a couple of games. And the scenes in the house in which was in my town. Still is in my fucking town. There was a PlayStation, and then on top of that shelf, there was a TV that was shaped like a Vectrex. And after I saw it a couple times, it's not a Vectrex. But I was kind of hoping it was, like a little nod, that something that he was like into. Tim Burton, that is. But yeah, overall, the only thing I have to say is Tim Burton, I yelled his name on set, and he kind of waved at me. Dude, we're besties. I'm surprised I didn't get invited to the premiere, but you know, I'm waiting for him to call. He's a busy dude, so I'm sure I'll be getting a phone call from him soon to go out and have a coffee or something with the guy. But either way, if you've seen the movie, let me know what you thought down below. If you've made a video talking about it, link it down below. I believe I don't have a restriction on that, and if I do, I will correct it. Let me know. But overall, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fucking fun. It worked well. And I think it's a great companion piece to the original. It's going to be a nice little box set. Please, God, don't make Beetlejuice. Please don't. You know they're gonna, though. You know they're gonna. But either way, guys, wherever in the world you are, I hope you're doing well. Boom, boom. It's all positive to me. Until next time, take care, creep it real, and bye-bye.